So let's talk about rewriting division as an equivalent multiplication problem. One of the things we have is there's this rule that says, division can be changed to multiplication by multiplying by the reciprocal of the divisor, which is the second number. So one of the words we have to understand is that word reciprocal. Reciprocal also kind of means to flip. It's kind of what we refer to as like fraction talk. So in fractions, we have what's called a numerator. I'm going to abbreviate that. And the denominator. And I'm going to abbreviate that for us. So when I look at this example, 20 divided by 2, the divisor is that second number. Right now, we know that how many 2s does it take to get 20? It would take, 10 2s would be 20. So we really don't need to change this to a multiplication problem because we can see the answer as a division problem and the quotient would be 10. But what I am allowed to do is I am allowed to change any division problem to multiplication. To do this, though, the second number has to look like a fraction. And I can make 2 look like a fraction by just putting it as a 2 over 1. Because remember, 2 divided by 1 is still 2. So I can create a numerator denominator. And what we do here is we keep the 20. We change the division symbol to a multiplication symbol. And what we do is we flip or reciprocate the second number. So instead of having 2 over 1, we have 1 over 2. Another thing we learn in math is since we're involving fractions, the word of kind of comes into play. I could say 20 of a half. Now, it probably makes better sense to say half of 20. Because remember, in multiplication, you can move things around. So instead of saying 20 of half, I can say half of 20. That now makes probably better sense because that half of 20 just means to divide 20 by a 2. So how many 2s go into 20 would be 10. And we're only taking one of them. 110 would just be 10. So that answer becomes 10. So again, if I look at this problem over here, 20 divided by 4/3, that doesn't look as friendly as a division problem. And this is where the reciprocal can come in handy. So I can keep the 20. I could change division to multiplication as long as I flip the 4/3 into 3/4. So what I could do is instead of saying 20 times 3/4, I could say 3/4 of 20. Because the word of is synonymous with multiplication when you deal with fractions. So what this basically means is you're going to cut the 20 into 4 pieces. So how many 4s go into 20 would be 5, but we get 3 of them. And 3 5s would be 15. And we could do that math actually without a calculator if we change it into a meaningful multiplication problem. So that's going to plant a few seeds of why we would probably change a division problem to a multiplication problem. You don't have to, but it is possible.